Jim Krenn No Restrictions training camp broadcast 2019. Our Pittsburgh Steelers. Sereny is here. Sereny, the diehard analyst for football, knows the game inside and out. Got the black shine under for the. No, Sereny knows nothing about football.
Nope.
Take the glass.
I know that they sometimes do.
Do you know what this is for? Do you understand what that? Do you know what that's for?
I think it's cute.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you think the football players put that on
to be cute?
To be cute.
Yeah.
Which is right. You are absolutely right. That's what it's for. It is a cute thing. Players that don't have it,
not cute. Yeah.
Not cute. But the players that do have it, they say, no. You want to know what it's for?
Is it for sweat?
No. No. Go guess.
Okay. Does it make them run faster?
No.
Jump higher?
Yes, you got it.
Does it make them?
It makes them run faster.
Does it make them camouflage into the field?
It's not. It's like a thing that's been around forever. Okay, and it's become like almost like more of a symbol thing. But it was believed in like the 50s or whatever, or 60s. It was believed, and they still believe it today. I don't think it does. They're saying that it took glare away. They're saying that this somehow would take glare away. In other words, if you're fielding a punt or a kickoff and you got to look up in the sun, this supposedly somehow takes away some glare. That's what they thought in theory. Mm-hmm. I don't see how it happens.
Let me test it out.
I don't think it's possible. I think it's basically...
No, these take glare away.
Yeah, I think it's basically
and they're cute.
to look like a warrior or something.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
I don't...
It's intimidation makeup.
It's to look pretty.
It's cute.
It really is cute.
That's why I did it.
Training camp broadcast, I have done, it's about 24 camps.
Wow.
A few Super Bowls here, Sereny, and this is your first camp.
First one.
It's interesting. These guys come up here, and they will practice down here. We'll film some practice if they let us in an hour or so.
Yeah.
And the team comes together at St. Vincent. They've been coming here forever. And Art Rooney, the chief who bought the Steelers, he well documented. He was one of the best horse race handicappers in the world. And what happened was he went on a run. He won like 12 races in a row, something like that. This is in the Depression era.
Okay.
He wins about. If anyone out there, if I'm wrong, a little bit off, I'm ballparking, right? This story, but he wins like between $400,000 and $500,000, and in the Depression, that's an unbelievable amount of money.
Yeah. Yep.
And NFL wasn't big like it is now. College was big.
Yeah.
And the NFL was like kind of, there's an AFL and NFL was, had championships and all that kind of. But the Steelers weren't winning or anything like that. And he bought the team. He had enough money. He came home. They said when he won his $500,000 at the track, he got a train home on a train, and he carried it in duffel bags. Could you imagine cash? He has the money in bags, and he gets home, and his wife's there, and he throws the money on the bed and says, "We're never going to have to work again."
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
That is a very cool story.
And
I'm surprised he didn't get robbed on a train back in the 20s.
It was just him and another guy or something, like one other guy. I know. I mean, to carry these bags
of cash.
I mean, that's the way it was.
And that's how the Steelers got started.
And that's how he bought the Steelers. I can't remember how exactly. Somebody said it was at a poker game or something like that, or bought it. Someone who was in debt. I can't remember how it was, but it wasn't like an amazing amount of money. It was like pretty inexpensive at the time. Yeah. And so he buys the Steelers, and we didn't win for many years until he hired Chuck Noll.
Okay.
And he was the Super Bowl winning coach and one of the architects of the championships. Bradshaw, Swan, Branco, all those guys in the 70s, and here we are.
It's beautiful.
And here we are. Yeah. And you know nothing about football, right?
I don't even know what those numbers are.
Wait.
Those are yards, the yard line, right?
I can make stuff up now. Yeah, that's the yard markers right there. And that yellow
goalpost.
Yes, that you have to hug that. If you score a touchdown, you have to hug the goal. You have to hug
and
it.
Dance.
You have to hug it like this.
And dance.
Hug it.
Like flop.
Give it a little kiss, and then that's what you do.
Yeah.
And fall over. Like that.
Okay.
No, you don't do that. But
you could fool me.
We're gonna have Kevin Colbert on the show today, my buddy Kevin, and you will ask him non-football questions.
Yes.
All right.
All the hard-hitting questions that the people really want to know.
We'll see if Kevin knows why they wear black under the eye.
'Cause it's cute.
We'll ask him. All right. We'll be back with Kevin Colbert. Jim Krenn, No Restrictions, Steeler Training Camp Broadcast 2019 with Sereny, and this is my superstar guest here on the podcast. It is not a training camp podcast or broadcast without my man, Kevin Colbert. Kevin, thank you, the general manager of the Steelers, best general manager in football, and one of the greatest people I've ever met. My man, always loyal, great friend.
Always good to get with you, Jimmy, whether we're on camera, off camera, or just walking down the street.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it so much. And this is our friend Sereny here.
Nice to meet you, Kevin.
Nice
I heard you're a Northsider.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you too? Where
yep. North Taylor.
Taylor, okay.
Over by the YMCA.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing. You know, where like Sereny lives, in the way when we grew up, man. I went to St. Mary's on Lockhart and in Froy Hill. It's amazing how it's changed, man.
It's changed.
It's crazy.
East Ohio Street is no longer our old East Ohio Street, and it's really making great strides and comebacks.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Housing and all that sort of thing. It's awesome. And the whole north side. I mean, you watched what happened in Lawrenceville.
Yeah.
And you can see it in your old home at the Strip.
Yeah.
And then it's migrating to the north side. It's great. It's great for the city, and it's good to have people back in the city.
You know, it's funny. When I was little, I used to go to this place called S&S Pants. My grandfather would go there. My grandfather wore the same pants and T-shirt every day. I swear to God.
Why change?
He had this, it was his green, kind of work pants, and he liked this white T-shirt, which he influenced me a lot. And we would go to this place. That's where Pants and Nets came from.
Wow.
It was this most bizarre clothing store. It was on East Ohio. They literally had sawdust on the floor.
That was down towards the
down by the Ludwig's, kind of by the flower place down there, by where Park House is now and all that.
Got
it was
it,
in that
got
area,
it,
but it was on that
got
side,
it, got
the
it.
same side. But it was like this clothing store, and there'd be the weirdest clothes. My grandfather would just go there for his. I don't know. That's how pants.
That's all he needed.
Heavy Pittsburgh accent.
Absolutely.
You want your green pants and white shirt? Here you go.
Why go anywhere else? I mean, it was too far to walk to the new Sears in the mall.
Oh, that was big time. That was big time. We go to Sears, man. That was big.
That's where you hung out. That's where your days were spent when you wanted to cool off.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was big. Remember that mall? That was huge, man.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. I'm old enough to remember when the Market House was there. Visiting the Market House with the sawdust on the floor.
What was it with sawdust back then?
Northside and sawdust.
I don't know. I have no idea. There must have been something.
That's where it was. But it changed, and obviously they tore down the Market House, which, if in retrospect, you really wish that it was still there because it would be such a unique property.
Right.
But in those days, we were looking for progress, and they built Allegheny Center Mall, and it's still thriving today. And whatever, I forget the current
Nova Place.
Nova Place, correct. Mm-hmm. So it's up and running, which is good. But when they built that mall, it was like, wow. We don't have to go to the North Hills to
it was
go
big
to a
time.
mall, man.
It was big. They got a Silverman's down there. Get my painter's pants. The funny thing is, Kev, I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this. Look back at those days growing up, man, as a kid. Could you ever, in your wildest dreams, imagine we'd be sitting here today? I don't know. I wouldn't imagine,
No.
Could you imagine being a GM of the Steelers, man?
No, not at all.
It's like a religion for us. As everyone knows out there.
Growing up, I mean, I went to a few Pirate games because you could get some tickets, and we could walk to Three Rivers, but never attended a Steeler game as a fan because you couldn't. I mean, it was in such demand, and to pay for a ticket as, a young person growing up, it was hard. And I got to a few games when some family was coaching against the Steelers, but never like we would expect it. So to be able to work for them in whatever capacity, it's really something that, I don't know if I'll ever comprehend it until maybe when it's over and said, oh, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of cool.
Because you're in the middle. Well, the interesting thing is, I don't know, when you look at guys, Franco Harris, Rocky Blauer, I turned into a little kid around Franco. I'm sure the same thing for you could be. You're around every player in the world, but you get those guys we grew up with, it's a different game.
Again, you grow up idolizing those guys and really appreciating what they did and just watching it in awe. Now you get to see them. And we're never going to be on a peer-to-peer level. I mean, those guys will always be the standard setters, and all we try to do is measure up to it. But again, it's a little bit surreal as well, because I say, hey, aren't you the guy that I used to watch in a helmet?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, here we are, another training camp. It's a grind. You have to do it in Sereny. This is where the players all come together and and start building the team and getting the character together.
But I'm not letting you off of that, because you have to look at some of the, your own status within the media world and say, wait a minute. That was Jack Bogut, or when Bill Cardille was still alive, and you'd run into him, you'd say, whoa. You know what I mean? You grew up idolizing those same types of folks, and it was, to this day, you don't realize it, and, you just kind of take it for granted, but you're like, whoa.
That is so true, Kev. And, as a kid, like you said, you grew up North Side, we came from humble beginnings. I remember being on a billboard and take my grandmother to bingo. I was all proud. So look at that grandma to bingo. She goes, great. She's Sonny. She goes, Sonny, you're only going to remember for how you treat people. Remember that. She always kept me grounded. I said, all right, Grandma.
That's right.
See, that's nice, awesome. Sonny, but you got to treat people. Yeah, so it's
right.
the values we have in Pittsburgh.
No doubt.
Right? It's and you've never, that's the thing about you. You've never changed. You're that guy. You share, and and all the great successes. I have to say, in watching, I mean, you're the architect. Now, I'm curious to see which one you pick to be your favorite. But of all the Super Bowl wins, the one where San Antonio, when Holmes caught the tiptoe catch with that drive against Arizona, that was probably the one moment in my life of a number one Steeler moment.
Well, what I'll answer to that is that the best one will be the next one. And that's
yes,
and not to take anything away from the other two, but honestly, the most memorable moment I've had was when we beat Denver to get to my first Super Bowl experience. That was like, wow, that was really, I can't believe we're actually doing it. Obviously, beating Seattle that year or beating Arizona when we did. That's the ultimate, but to be able to get there, having never been there before, was really something. So,
and that was a heck of a hump to get over, to get to that. Like you said,
it was a long time coming, but when you get there and we were able to win it, great. The thing, being on the wrong side of the confetti when Green Bay beat us, that's something that you never forget either. So that's why I say the next one will be the most important.
Is it burn in you to get back there? Because once you taste that win, I mean, as a fan, we all can't wait to get back. But you're in the middle of it. Does it just burn inside you?
It does. Nothing else will satisfy you. Making the playoffs, no. Winning the division, no. Winning a playoff game, no. And once you've won it, unless you win it again, you'll never be satisfied.
And because we've done it, Kev, you know what it takes to get there. The interesting thing about this team, and you don't have the same distractions as you had last season. That has to be a bit of a plus as far as forming the team, I think. What do you think of that?
Well, I think every team forms its own identity. And, last year was last year. Whatever identity it wasn't good enough because we were 6-3-1 and we didn't qualify for the Super Bowl competition. So the makeup of that team wasn't good enough, no matter how we look at it. The makeup of this group, it's starting to form, and who knows where it'll go. Really the mental makeup, the culture and all that other stuff, it's based on winning. And that's all it's based on. They coincide. So I think it's coming together, and it'll be a week-to-week formation because every week, today's going to be different than Sunday was. What steps are we taking? We get into the first preseason, the fourth preseason, the openers, whatever. This team will come together in one form or another, and none of us can really predict it. All we try to do is put what we think are the right pieces in place and watch them grow together.
The interesting thing is, because we're friends, and I'll text after loss or whatever, and it's interesting the emotions of a season. You got to go the ups and the downs just to, like you said, to get to the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl. It's a real emotional roller coaster because the team that you start the season with because of injuries and changes, and then there's that team it's almost like two teams, and you have to have that team that makes the run at the end or whatever to get there. Then everything comes together. It takes an emotional toll on everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's the Coach Cowher used to call it the ebb and flow, and Coach Tomlin the week in, week out. It's always new and different. And that's why if you win a game, okay, great, what's next? If you lose a game, okay, what did we do wrong? We don't have to panic at this point because we can still rectify things. So each week it'll bring a different dynamic as to what you want to get accomplished. You always want to win, but you understand that there's different phases of this thing. And, we're sitting here in July, now it's August, and it's 85 plus, but we hope to be playing in January and February when it's 10 minus. So it's a whole long endeavor.
It's a ride. Juju Smith, could be making a big jump this year, huh? These guys, you just feel he's ready, huh? He's ready to make that jump. Every player has a certain, he's at the right age, in other words, levels, ready to get to the next level. Is that what you do? You judge it and say, these guys ready to make his next breakthrough?
Well, again, yes, because now he'll be in a different role. He's minus a great receiver in Antonio Brown on the other side. Much like when Antonio was a young player and Mike Wallace and Emmanuel Sanders moved on, AB had to prove that he could be that guy. So Juju has to do that. And, again, this is a new role for him. So we don't know how he'll respond. It's funny because we won't determine that. He will. I mean, he'll determine what happens out here.
Yeah.
We can only hope and think that, again, he'll do it, but he has to prove it.
It's the mental part of the game because these guys are all great athletes. It's in between the years that really it's crazy.
It's the mental toughness is a huge part of it. And just the expectation of meeting those same demands that he now has.
How about you? You've set a high standard for yourself. You've achieved it. You've achieved Super Bowls and greatness. How do you keep so fired up? How do you keep that fire burning? I mean, you do it year in, year out.
Joe Green, who we had the great fortune of having on our scouting staff for 9 years after he retired from coaching, was awesome. And Joe reminded us, that's great. We did this. We won a Super Bowl. You really want to be special, do it again. Okay, you won 2. You really want to do it again. Joe was never satisfied, and that always resonated with me because this is one of the best players ever in the history of this great game, but he was never satisfied. So we can never be satisfied with where we are, where we want to be. And another big thing is having been here. Ben is the only guy that's ever won a Super Bowl on our current roster. And you really want those other players and even the coaches that haven't won it to have that experience because you know how great it is. So to see them, if we could see them get it, that's a hugely fulfilling feeling if you can help someone else have that same feeling.
It's kind of key for us having a quarterback that has that experience to win a Super Bowl, to be able to lead, because these guys instant respect. They know Ben has been there, and there's only one way to get there, and he knows it.
Right. And so hopefully they'll follow that lead. But again, a big part of what drives you is having it happen for somebody else.
In our division changing a bit, in that I guess it's safe to say our rival is back with the Browns. I'm kind of happy the rival's back, man. I mean, Browns are looking pretty good, and we're going to beat them, of course, both games, but they're looking pretty good this year, huh?
The whole AFC North is a hugely competitive, natural rival division. Cleveland and Pittsburgh goes way back. Baltimore used to be Cleveland. Cleveland, Cincinnati, fighting for the state of Ohio. Cincinnati fighting Baltimore because they used to be Cleveland. There's a natural rivalry within the whole division. So, it's a tough division. There's good teams, but there's natural rivalries that are hard to push aside. Every week is a huge
Records don't count when you play our division.
No, they
doesn't
don't.
matter.
No, and it's a natural. Like I said, everybody in the division is a natural rival in some form or fashion.
Does it matter to the players that were playing the Patriots the first regular season game? I mean, does it matter to who you open with? Because you think, wow, you almost want to open, I don't know, I guess an easier game than being on the road playing the Patriots.
But no one.
I guess it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, they have to focus. Our biggest rival is ourselves. And we have to play ourselves first to make sure that we have to challenge ourselves first to make sure that we're ready for whoever we're playing. It happens to be New England this year. Obviously, you respect where they are because they're coming in as the defending world champions. So obviously that carries a level of respect, but the real demand is on yourselves. That's your real rival. Let's make ourselves better so that we'll have a better chance against those types of teams.
I think that's why we like football so much. We love football. It's like part of life, right? That's really a philosophy of life. It all comes down to yourself. Who can handle the pressure? Can you step up? That's basically in any business.
It's
right?
never about anybody else. It's
No.
what you decide to do that day. And there's different challenges in different parts of our lives. But in this one, it happens to be, okay, this is what we do in football. In yours, you have to put the best show together. No caring what anyone else is doing. It's all about yourselves.
Excited about everyone's favorite, not James Conner, man, because of his story. But looking for a big year from him, huh?
No doubt. And James did a nice job last year, filling in what was a vacated spot from a previously, solid player in Le'Veon. So James stepped up. Jalen Samuels stepped up. Stephen Ridley pitched in last year. Well, Stephen's no longer with us, so now it'll be James, Jalen, and Benny Snell. So collectively, we want to see continued production out of that group.
I got to tell you, Kev, Kevin's never listened to me, which I am grateful whenever the draft comes. I always send my suggestions. I'm always way off. I love the pick you made. And is that the first time we traded up since Troy? Maybe is that the most we went all the way to with the 10th pick or whatever that was. That's a heck of a jump.
Yeah, we've traded up in different rounds, but nothing that significant. But we thought Devin was worth that. Anytime we make a decision like that in the draft, it's after really months of preparation, and you really narrow it down to maybe 6 or 7 players that if they got to a certain spot in the draft, you'd be willing to give up some assets to try to get them. And obviously we reached that point with Devin, and we'll see if it plays out. Again,
that's another thing you had to wait, huh?
We did what we did, and he's got to do what he wants or has to do. But it's really, nobody's going to judge it. He'll either do it or he won't, and it's really up to them.
Potential is off the charts for this guy. He's built like me. I knew it right away. I saw the 6-pack and then the arms. I was like,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
I didn't mistake him the
right?
first time.
Right?
Absolutely.
His shirt's off. You can't tell the difference between us two. But man, he's got monster athletic, off the chart skills, and that's why I remind you. I know he's not, Troy's position, the safety, but I mean he's a linebacker. But he just reminds me of that pick a little bit because of the monster athletic skills.
He has
a little bit connection there, a little bit.
Yeah, he has. I mean, a certain. He's really very
special.
athletic. He's very smart. He's tough. He can do all 3 things that you want. He can cover, he can play to run, and he can rush the passer. So, again, putting that all together, how quick that happens, who knows? I mean, Troy's rookie year,
Yeah.
You heard things.
Adjustment.
You heard the term bust and all that. But I think we're safe to say that
Hall of Fame bust.
A few years later, we're talking about a different bust.
Exactly.
And, hopefully, Troy gets that first time around when he's eligible.
I think he will. It's funny, Kev, with players when they're on the field, Sereny, linebackers. There's 1 or 2 players have to call the defense like a quarterback calls the offense. People don't know that. There's a lot going on, man. And how do you designate who's going to do that? Do they pick the linebacker? Is it always a linebacker? Is it a safety?
It's usually there's some variety of calls. I mean, the defensive line has certain calls. The back end has certain calls, but only one player per set can have the helmet with the microphone in it from the coach.
So he's the quarterback.
He's the quarterback, just like Ben has the headset on when Randy's talking to him. So he'll get the signal, and he has to relay it to the team. But then when things change, which happens every play, he has to make those adjustments. So what the coaches do is obviously we designate one person, and that person has to be able to handle all the calls, handle not only knowing the calls, but verbalizing them to everybody else. And last year, I mean, when we lost Ryan, we obviously lost our defensive quarterback.
Yeah.
And it was a huge replacement that had to happen. And we tried to patch it together, and Vince did as much as he could in certain packages, but we wanted to upgrade that. We wanted to enhance the coverage abilities of the linebackers with maybe getting a guy that can handle the calls. But again, he has to prove that he can do this. When I say he, I mean Devin has to prove that A, he understands the calls, and B, that he can communicate them effectively.
Which is amazing to think about and doing in 1 second, one split second.
Oh, yeah, there's not a lot of time.
Not a lot of guys can do it either. It's pretty amazing.
No.
Well, as you know, and Sereny knows this too, I lost a lot of weight, and I was a tight end candidate last year. I got cut again, last cut again. This year I lost weight. I'm going more for slot receiver.
I think you are. You're more slot oriented.
I think I'm slot oriented.
But I think the speed and athleticism, that's a given. How we package it and how we utilize it. I think you have to get. You have to find that comfort. And prove to Ben that, hey, I'm open.
He got to trust me.
You got to be like 7-Eleven.
Exactly. Always open.
Always.
Exactly, man. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to get the gloves. This is my year. I'm going to make the team finally. I'm the slot guy.
I like it.
Kev, you're the greatest, brother. Congratulations on the Anchor Point Ministries. I got to see you get the community, the award you got for all the work you do in the community. Kevin does so much work quietly and helps so many people and charities, and you got a Man of the Year honor from Anchor Point Ministries, and I was lucky enough to be there to see you get it with your family there and everything. It's nice to see you get some accolades, brother, some applause for this. You're kind of GM's kind of like behind the scenes. You do get now they're starting to recognize you finally, but you know what I mean.
No, the recognition was nice. There's a lot of people that do a lot of great things for the community, as they should. We're all blessed by what we're able to do, and there's a lot of people that need our help. And I think it's kind of a given when you do it, when we do it. You don't need an award for it. The reward is knowing that maybe you helped somebody have a better day.
Like Grandma told me, right?
Exactly. No doubt.
I told you, he's the most down-to-earth guy, right?
He really is.
Hey, Kev, you're great. Thanks, brother.
All
Kevin
right,
Colbert, Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going. I'm feeling Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's go.
Huh?
Why wait?
Next interview, we're going to be at the Super Bowl, baby. You'll
right.
see it. It's Jim Krenn, No Restrictions.
Hey guys, we're back. We're at the Fun Zone. It's my first time here. We're going to walk around, talk to some fans. Just had a great interview with Kevin, and
you could have fun, Sereny, but I have to make the team. Kevin said this is my year to be a slot receiver, and it's not a fun zone. It's work. I'm up here to do my job. I'm up here to work. I'm doing one game at a time. I got to hit the weight room a little bit harder. No, I'm a slot receiver. I'm not bulky. I'm a slot receiver. I'm a slot.
At the casino?
I'm a dirty slot. I'm a dirty slot receiver. You understand?
Let's go talk to some fans. What do you say?
Yes.
All right.
You got it, huh? Thanks, guys. Oh,
Jeez. Did you just lose a football?
Oh, yeah. Guys, sir. Ready?
All right, yeah.
Fake handoff. Drop back. He sees. He goes. Oh! We're so close.
No more. Let the kids do it.
No kids.
No kids.
Oh, so close. 3 seconds left in the game.
I've been involved in my church for a lot of years.
Sereny and I are going to kick. Sereny, you want to go first?
Yep.
Sereny's going to go first. 3 seconds to go. Score tied.
Olympics.
We made it.
It was really great. The 78 season.
I like your little run. Look at you.
So they won 4 out of 6. Terry Bradshaw was the quarterback, so.
Pressure's on. 3 seconds left. 3 seconds left in the game. Can Krenn do it? He gets it up and it's fine, right? Sereny got wide.
No goal.
No go. Sereny won the game. There's Krenn inside. He goes inside. He sees the move. Almost. That's Bigfoot.
Yeah, we found Bigfoot.
It's Bigfoot's hands. Look. Juju's hands are so long. Look at his hands. Oh my God. That's crazy. There's a receiver, that's why. Oh, TJ. That's him, TJ. TJ Watt.
I think it's like.
Oh, yeah. It's big as Watt. Are you obviously Ryan Shazier fan, huh? He's going to do great and come back, right? How are we going to do this year? We going to the Super Bowl? Do you play football? No? You want to play?
Maybe.
Yeah? How old are you? 10. Ah, okay. Got a little 11-year-old, so there you go. So you what position would you play? Linebacker?
Maybe.
Like Shazier, right? Like Ryan, like your man. You look good, buddy.
You look great.
You ready? You're gonna look at the wristbands and everything, man. Look, you got the stuff under the eye like Sereny. You know what that's for, right? For glare, right? Thanks, brother. We have Steely McBeam here. A lot of people didn't think we can get him at training camp. He's very in demand. Sereny, this is Steely McBeam.
Nice to meet you, Steely.
You
Big
know,
fan.
Yeah. How are you feeling this training camp? In shape? Are you in shape? Are you in game shape, would you say, or not yet? Not yet? Getting there. Okay. And how do you think we're going to go to the Super Bowl this year, Steely? You're praying. Okay, we're going to go. All right, I'll pray with you. I like that. I like your spirit, Steely. How hot are you in that costume? Nothing. It's easy. No? Yeah?
He's a pro. It's steel mill all the time. It's hot in there.
Yes.
It's probably air conditioning out here for him.
You're going to pass out at any moment. Like, these shoes are nice. Now, what do you run? Did you run to 40 under 4.5? Would you say? Yeah, around there, around under 4 those shoes. We could loan those shoes to James Conner, right? Those are nice running back shoes, man. These are so. This is amazing because Steely McBeam does have to have training camp, Sereny. He's getting ready for the games, and he runs the whole 3-4 hours. This guy goes here. This is tough. He smiles the whole time. He's never depressed. What is it? What keeps you up? What? Oh yeah, nice. That's
Same.
Yeah. Water. It's sleep. Steely McBeam, everybody. And you didn't think we could get him. We got him. Thank you, Steely. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Steely.
Huh? That's pretty cool. Hey, here you go.
Oh,
you got a date. Sereny got a date, Steely.
I thought I was going to get a date.
There
with
you
an
go.
athlete.
Wait, this is bigger.
Even better.
And better. And he can dance, for crying out loud. Thanks, Steely. Appreciate it, brother.
10-7.
How fast? 10-7? 10-7. That's good. That's good for slot receiver.
Yeah.
You don't have to be real fast. 10-7 is not bad. I can work with 10-7.
7 rings.
That's good. There you have it. The Steeler Training Camp broadcast. I'm feeling Super Bowl. Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl.
7 rings.
Feeling 7. See, you know your
now
football.
Now I know. I've learned so much.
You knew
today.
about 6. There you go. She's learning. 7 rings, baby. Super Bowl. Krenn No Restrictions with Sereny, the football expert.